Hello viewers and welcome back to this channel. My name is Azariah and I'll be the tutor for today's video. In today's video, I'll be showing you why you need a network redundancy. So without much I say, let's look at what we will cover in today's project. Why you need network redundancy in your network, the benefits you get using the right protocols, the negative and positive aspect of network redundancy, and then lastly, I'll show you designing a simple LAN network redundancy using Cisco Packet Tracer Simulator. So let's begin by asking, what is a network redundancy? Network redundancy means having extra paths or connections so that if one part of the network has a problem, the information can still find a different way to reach its destination. Being explained, this helps make sure that the network stays strong and reliable. So network redundancy is a good thing to have in your network LAN, local area network. So there are two types of network redundancy, and these are: one, the fault tolerance, which uses full hardware redundancy. There's at least one complete duplicate of the system hardware running side by side with the primary system. Should one system fail, the other will take over simultaneously with no loss of service. And the other point is high availability. In this structure, rather than duplicate all of the physical hardware, a cluster of servers is run together. The servers monitor each other and have failover capacities. So if there is a problem on one server, a backup can take action. So this is the types of network redundancy you have. So you can choose whether to use the fault tolerance or the high availability. But note, if you are curious about the benefits and drawbacks of each, consider this. Fault tolerance systems deliver next to zero downtime but are highly expensive to implement, while high availability infrastructure is less expensive to implement but may come with a risk of minor impact to service during outage. Moving on. Designing for redundancy. So if you are new to this, I suggest creating detailed layer 1, layer 2 and layer 3 network diagrams, showing every box and every link. Put your pencil or your mouse on each LAN or box in section and ask these questions for each element. 1. Ask yourself, what happens at layer 1 if this box or link goes down? Do you still have connectivity? Question 2. What happens at layer 2? Do you still have connectivity of all VLANs through the network? And lastly, what happens at layer 3? Do you still have a default gateway on each segment? Explaining each step by step. So, for example, at layer 1 and 2, I like to use Link Aggregation Control Protocol, which is the LACP, for link redundancy. This includes multi-chases LACP variations like Cisco's Virtual Port Channel (VPC) technology, available on all Nexus switches. And the other is important layer 2 protocol to use is the spanning tree protocol. Don't forget, I prefer the modern fast converging STP variants like MSTP and RSTP. Looking at the layer 3 awareness. If the segment is being used primarily to interconnect network devices, then it might make sure or more sense to use a dynamic routing protocol such as OSPF or EIGRP or BGP. At layer 3, your redundancy mechanisms need to make the routing functions available when a device fails. The choice of protocol here depends on many factors. If the devices on this network segment are mostly end devices, such as servers or workstations, then the best choices for this are Cisco's proprietary host standby routing protocol (HSRP) or the open standard virtual router redundancy protocol, the VRRP. Now, something to notice in building a stable network. I don't advise using the older RIP protocol because it has serious limitations in both convergence time and network size. However, I strongly advise against using both types of protocols, like deploying HSRP and or with OSPF. During this can lead to network instability, particularly when dealing with multicast traffics. So, as said here, it is not advisable to use both protocols at the same time, like deploying HSRP with OSPF. It's a bad type or a bad configuration in your network that could cause instability and can create loops. Okay, moving on. Practicals. So we are going to design a simple LAN network redundancy using 2 switches, 1 router, and some end devices. So let's choose. Okay, so this is our network. We have here a router and 2 switches. So making router at the top here our superior gateway or the root bridge. When this part of the network, the interfaces of router 1 connecting switch 1 fails, there should be a backup on switch 2 which can still continue transferring the BPD to the network. So assuming this interface is off, there should still be a connectivity because of this connection in the network. But if there's no connectivity here and this interface here is also down, that means the whole network goes down without having anything saved or backed up in your system. So always make sure that you have configured your network with the right protocols, using the right protocols like OSPF, AAGRP, or BGP. So without much I say, this brings us to the end of today's video. I hope you liked it, and please don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Thank you.